All right, everybody, really quick, short episode here on the Utah High School Hoops podcast. I've been tinkering around a little bit with something fun on the website that I wanted to show. This is about the playoffs. Playoffs? Playoffs? Jim Mora, whatever. Old people. Oldies, you get me on that one. All right. So I'm going to pull up the site here. Hopefully, you are watching this. If you're listening to this, it's just at the prepbasketball.net. You can click on. By the way, this D3 recruiting playbook is pretty awesome. I know the pop-up ads can be a little bit annoying, but I think it's pretty sweet. So you should go check it out. D3direct.com has some cool things. So if you come over here to teams, you can click on playoff brackets. And what I have done is I have taken the current standings on the UHSAA RPI page, and I have pulled them in to the prepbasketball.net so that you can have some interactive brackets and you can see what would it look like if the playoffs started today. And you can even come through here. You can click American Fork or Copper Hills or Lone Peak or Farmington or whatever you would like to do. So you can kind of click through here. These are not like official predictions. And Lone Peak wins. So anyway, so you can click through and you will see here that I have set a champion of Lone Peak. Now this will automatically save when you are logged in. So you can see 5A is a little bit more complicated. 4A as well. So you've got these first round games. 3A just has first round quarterfinals, semifinals, 2A, and then 1A. So I thought this was kind of fun. And I'm thinking about incorporating in maybe like a bracket challenge, or I don't know, but I would need a sponsor to come up with some kind of cool thing to give. So right now you have to be logged in to prepbasketball.net in order to access this bracket predictor. And then you can see down here, 1A bracket will be revealed on, it says February 16th. So you can click this link here to view the shows. Once these are locked in, and by the way, I have to manually update, kind of annoying. But once these are locked in, I thought it would be kind of cool to do like a fun bracket challenge. I can't really build out something like ESPN does. I'm gonna pull this down. I can't really build out something like ESPN does where you can get on a team and have whatever. But I did think it would be fun to have users come in and save their brackets, and you could save it and kind of tinker with it up until the games start, and then they're locked in. So once the games start, they would be locked in. And then whoever has the best 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A, 5A, 6A bracket, whichever user, has the most right. And we could assign, maybe it's like 1 point for the first round, 2 points, second, 3, 4, and then 5 in the championship, or something super easy like that. Whoever wins can maybe get a prize. So if you know of a company who would like to sponsor the bracket challenge, I think that could be kind of cool. And if nobody wants to sponsor, and that's fine. It's still just a way to go in and kind of play around with things, see where you might be currently landing. By the way, if the data is wrong, what I do is I take a screenshot of the current RPI and then I upload it in the back end, and it's scraping the data from that screenshot just because I don't have time to go through and manually input all of this stuff. So go check it out. Go play around with it. See, for example, like, you know what, let's do this. So I can come up here. Let's go back into this. I can go reset all. And if the playoff started today in 6A, look at some of these fun matchups. And I think 6A is incredibly wide open. We'll do a bracket podcast. I'll have a couple people on, including hopefully some adult humans who are going to be taking over the Instagram and the rankings page. I'm fingers crossed that happens soon, because it's a lot of work that I don't really want to continue to do long term. So It makes some introductions to some people who love Utah high school basketball as well. But if you were to look at like Lone Peak American Fork in the second round as a potential matchup, right? But Lone Peak Farmington is these are Davis Riverton in the first. I mean, Lehigh as a 13 seed, and we can kind of see some of these double digit seeds. Lehigh is in fact capable of making a run to the championship game. If again, this is if the playoffs started today, we'll have the final bracket reveal in approximately 12 days for 6A. But if these were the matchups, it's like, man, there's some great early matchups. Come over here to 5A. Obviously, it gets a little bit more complicated based on, kind of the current RPI, but, like, think about this. Highland Pleasant Grove, the 210 seed in the second round, man, that would be incredible. Um, Westfield versus Bountiful potential. Now, West got in a lot of people were like, "What were you guys doing?" They scored 111 points. I heard all the talk, whatever. But West, a potential now they'd have to get past Roy, which would be a hard game, but West versus Olympus would be pretty fun. We'll see if they can score 111 on on Olympus. Um, I don't know. I think, a potential second quarterfinal matchup between Timpview and Springville does there's just a lot of interesting things that you can start to look at here. This to me is one of the more fascinating just because I know a lot about these two programs, but Provo potentially their uh their reward for being the one seed is either a very good Desert Hills team or a very good Judge Memorial team in their first round matchup. Holy crap. I think that right now, the top probably 17 teams in 4A all could make a run and win state. I mean, am I wrong? It is crazy when you look at all of these teams, right? Provo just lost to Timpanogos. Uh, Judge just barely they lost by 9 to Layton Christian Academy. I mean, this is gonna be wild. 4A is gonna be insane. 3A, I still man, I think it's gonna be really tough. It's gonna be tough for Morgan, but I'm guessing if you're American Heritage or Richfield, or even can an Ogden or a Juab, can they make a run? If you're one of these teams, you are gonna be glad to be over here on this side of the bracket in 3A. 2A matchups. I think like a potential Roland Hall ALA rematch would be a lot of fun. You've got a Kanab South Summit quarterfinals game would be pretty interesting. And then kind of come down here to one. So again, these are not set. These are not the actual playoff brackets, but they're meant to be updated. I'll try to update them as often as I can. 4A, I think, is going to be set. Let me go over here to let's share this tab. So February 7th is going to be 2, 3, and 4A. February 14th will be 5 and 6A. February 16th will be 1A. So all of the brackets will be fully set by then. But I know in 2, 3, and 4A, the playoffs will have already started. So those brackets would be locked down once the reveal show happens. Anyway, that's all I got. Like I said, pretty short episode here. Go check it out. You can go to prepbasketball.net/brackets, or just go to prepbasketball.net, go under teams and click playoff brackets and go have some fun. You can kind of come up with some interesting scenarios. Like I said, I will try to get these things updated as often as I can. Everybody have a great week. Enjoy the last month of high school basketball for the excuse me 2025-2026 season. It's going to be pretty epic, I think.